The city awoke to the usual pulse of trade and ambition, but for Lucien Cross, the day began with a thin envelope on his desk. The seal bore the discreet insignia of the Cross family council. He broke it open, eyes narrowing slightly as he scanned the contents. It was not a summons, but a reminder. The council had scheduled an open hearing to review the heirs. It meant the elders were watching every move he made. Adrian entered just as Lucien set the letter aside. "Another test," Adrian said with a faint grin. "You've impressed them so far. That's probably why they're tightening the reins." Lucien gave a quiet shrug. "Pressure reveals the cracks. Let them watch." Meanwhile, in a sleek private restaurant on the east side of the city, Vivian Hale sat across from Damien Voss. The morning light glinted off the crystal glasses on the table. Damien's words were smooth, his plans sharp as ever. "Cross looks composed, but he's cornered. We keep up the pressure and the facade will crack." Vivian's lips curved faintly in a cool smile. He was always out of his depth. That crescent earring won't save him. He's just stubborn, nothing more. There was a flicker in her eyes, barely perceptible even to herself. A memory of Lucien standing calmly in the boardroom during their last confrontation, his voice even, unshaken. She dismissed it as irrelevant. Damien noticed the faint shift, but let it pass. Hale Enterprises and Voss Capital together can squeeze his allies dry. He's holding on by luck, not skill. Later that day, in a quiet corridor of Cross Tower, Adrian met Lucien with a new report. "Damien's trying to cut off some of your newest suppliers. They're being offered double their contracts to walk away from us." Lucien studied the data calmly. "Half of them will take the bait. They're not built for long-term trust. The ones who stay will prove their worth." "You're letting them go?" Adrian asked. Lucien's voice remained steady. "I'd rather build with those who believe in what we're building. The rest would have crumbled in the next storm." Across the city, Vivian met with a circle of potential investors. She laid out plans, confident and commanding. When one of them raised Lucien's name as a factor to consider, her expression cooled. "Lucien Cross was never the driving force behind anything I built. He was convenient at one point, but not a player in this league." Her words drew polite laughter from a few at the table. Yet as the meeting ended and she returned to her office, she found herself pausing by the window. The sight of Cross Tower in the distance triggered a brief unbidden thought. He's supposed to be struggling by now. She pushed the thought away and returned to her calls. At the same time, Damien was not satisfied with small victories. He had begun probing into Lucien's past, seeking a scandal to weaponize. His aide returned with folders and reports, but the more they dug, the less they found. No hidden debts, no scandals, no personal attachments that can be exploited. The aide said, frustrated. Damien's eyes narrowed. "Everyone has something. Keep digging. If we can't find it, we'll make it." News of Damien's tactics reached Adrian before sunset. He entered Lucien's office with a grim expression. "They're trying to fabricate something. Rumors, doctored records. It could get ugly." Lucien leaned back in his chair, fingers resting lightly on the crescent earring. "Lies collapse when there's nothing to hold them up. Let them try. The truth has a way of cutting through noise." The next day, an online publication released a sensational headline accusing one of Lucien's partner companies of corruption. Panic rippled briefly in the market. Lucien held an unscheduled press briefing. Standing behind a plain podium, he addressed the questions with calm, precise responses, dismantling the false claims one by one. By the end of the briefing, the fabricated story had begun to unravel. Adrian watched from the side, pride in his eyes. After the cameras were off, he said quietly, "You didn't just defend yourself, you turned the attack into proof of your integrity." Lucien allowed a brief smile. That's all this was ever about. Survive the noise, stay the course. In her office, Vivian watched a replay of the briefing on her tablet. Her brows drew together slightly. The man speaking was no longer the quiet analyst she had once dismissed. There was nothing pleading in his tone, only a confidence rooted in conviction. She shook her head as if to clear the thought. He's just buying time, she told herself. That night, Damien Voss met with a trusted associate in a private lounge. He's still standing, the associate said. Your moves aren't landing. Damien's voice was sharp. Then we stop playing around. If he won't fall by the market, we'll push him from the inside. The crossboard still has members who'd rather see him fail. As the city slept, Lucien stood once more by the window of his office. The skyline reflected faintly in the glass before him, and the black onyx crescent in his ear caught a stray glint of moonlight. He thought of the letter from the council, of the tests still ahead. He had chosen this path, and he would not turn back. The war with Damien Voss was far from over, but it was no longer a contest for recognition from Vivian Hale, nor a fight to prove his worth to anyone who had cast him aside. It was now a battle to uphold the legacy he had chosen to claim and to protect those who stood with him.
Thank you for sharing this chapter with us at Velvet Chapters Brew. Comment, like, and subscribe to see where the next page takes us.